Welcome to another tech video and review slash first use of a device. So today we are looking at this HP Pavilion laptop. This is a Core i3 10th gen CPU, so it's not the latest. It's got a 1.2 gigahertz base frequency with 3.4 burst turbo boost technology. Comes with 4 megabytes of cache. It's a dual core machine, obviously, as it's a Core i3. So in here we've got the power brick, which is a 45 watt power supply. We should have a UK cable, which we do. And packaging wise, very well packaged so far. In fact, it's so well packaged I can't actually get it out of the box, so it's got to be catching somewhere. There we go. Okay, so packaging is very robust on this, which is great. So let's peel the sides off. Startup instructions over there. So not a fan of these plastic bags. To be honest, they should be putting them in a cloth, like a lintel bag, cotton bag, something like that. But as you can see here, it's a 14-inch laptop, rose gold base on the unit and white on the cover, and you've got the rose gold logo on there as well. It's a really smart little machine, great build quality. Plasticky feel, but on the whole pretty nice. And again, this one's using the hinge to raise up the back to get the airflow through it. So this is a 14-inch model. Let's have a look and open it up. Okay, so first impressions, nice. Rose gold, as I say, we've got this nice cloth finish protective layer which sits on the keyboard, between the keyboard and the screen. Bezel on the screen is slim around the left and right edges. On the top it's slightly wider because it's housing the webcam. And while we're here, we'll talk about the webcam. So this is an HD wide vision HD camera with an integrated dual array digital microphone. So the screen itself is, I believe, so 14-inch diagonal FDA SVA anti-glare micro edge with LED backlit, 220 nits, 45% NTSC, full HD basically. It's a matte finish on the screen, so anti-reflective there, and that's pretty much it. So sound system, as you can see here, we've got an integrated speaker grill across the back here. This one is Bang & Olufsen audio. On the whole, pretty impressive. As you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but just behind the speaker grill you've got the airflow grill here. So the device itself will bring in air from the bottom and expel air out the top there. All the usual function keys across the top. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of this rose gold. It's got quite a shine on it, but build quality is excellent, and I really like the white finish on the screen on the back of the panel here. So raising it up, let's have a look at that. So with the lid closed, it sits flat on the bottom. Raising it up hinges the back up a little bit, so you get the airflow through the system itself. So connectivity wise, so on the side here we have got our power jack right on the corner. We've got our Ethernet gigabit connectivity here. We've got HDMI output, and we've got a USB Type-C connection there. So the USB Type-C connection is USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-C, so that's 5 gigabit transfer speed on that. And then round on this side you've got 2 additional 3.1 Gen 1 Type A ports, and you've got a combined headphone and speaker jack there, and you've got your Kensington lock point there, and just over here you've got your SD card reader. So that's all there is to it. These ones, if we want to get inside to have a look at the unit itself, it's three Phillips screws on the front there, and that will prise open the base of the unit. So we'll have a look at that later. But in the meantime, let's just go ahead, get it connected, and have a look at the boot times and installation process. Okay, so we mentioned that we were going to take a look inside the machine itself. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at the internals just to see how they look like they're going to hold up and perform. So what we want to do is we're going to take a small Phillips screwdriver. We've got 3 screws in the front, so we'll turn this round. We've got the 3 screws here that look like they come off. So just bear in mind that we've never been inside one of these devices before, but so far that first screw was very easy to come out. And as we've never been into one of these before, we're not really sure how we're going to get into it, but we've got a standard prizer tool to see if we can unclip the back. So just like we would do on any repair, we want to get into the device as we've seen before. Yep, okay, so we've got 1 screw under there. And another screw under there. You want to make sure the feet stay nice and clean so that you don't lose the adhesive contact. And then we've got another couple of Phillips screws in the back feet. So we can get that one out. There we go. Okay, so now we're making some progress. We've got our prizer tool in the front. And down that side and along the back. There we go. Okay, so that was a bit trickier than I thought to get into, so let's have a look inside the unit itself. So as you can see, what we've got is quite impressive. So we've got our NVMe drive here. This is our battery pack here. We've got the thermal heat pipe from the CPU running down the back here with our fan, single fan only. Obviously this base platform can be used for higher powered devices. And then what we've got over here is an extra space for a 2.5-inch drive. So if you wanted to upgrade with an SSD drive, then you could, and that's a single ribbon cable that would attach in here, and that will then plug into your SSD drive and give you expandability and additional storage. So let's have a look at the RAM. So it's only got a single RAM chip, so it comes with 8 gig, but if you wanted to go any more than that, then you're looking to swap the RAM chip out itself. And then over here we've got our wireless card with a single antenna that runs up into the screen, and that is pretty much all there is to it. So in terms of upgradability and serviceability, yes, can be done. There's not a huge amount to change in here apart from the memory, adding some more storage with a ribbon cable that doesn't come with the device, so you would need to source that yourself and provide yourself with some extra storage that way. So that's all there is to it. what we're going to do is we will reattach the cover, get that screwed back in, and then continue. Okay, so now we've got the unit connected, let's get it powered on, and let's talk about the battery that's in here. So this is the battery is not a interchangeable battery in so far that you can't pop it out the back. Basically it's built in under the cover, so we need to remove the cover if you ever wanted to change the battery, but it's a 3-cell 41 watt hour ion battery. So in theory, battery life of mixed usage is reported to be 10 hours 30 minutes. Video playback battery life is up to 9 hours. And the speakers, as I mentioned, are Bang & Olufsen dual speakers with HP Audio Boost 1.0. So software wise, comes with Windows 10 Home 64-bit. Also comes with 3D Drive Guard, HD Audio Switch, HP Call Center, HP Jumpstart, and the HP Support Assistant. Also comes with McAfee Live Safe, which we will remove.
I'm here to help.
Let's get Cortana switched off for a minute while we're talking, and also comes with bundled Office 365, which we will be removing. So in terms of the memory card reader on the side, that is a multi-format SD card reader, so you can use adapters to get it to read micro SD cards and so on and so forth. Now the HDMI port output on this side next to the network port is HDMI 1.4B. That's all you need to know in terms of that. Weight wise, it's 1.6 kilos, so fairly light, and it'd be interesting to have a look at the webcam once we get everything set up. So in terms of memory, what does this come with? This comes with 8 gig of DDR4 2666 SD RAM, so that's a single 8 gig chip. Graphics, it's not dedicated graphics, comes with Intel UHD graphics, and storage wise on here is a 256 gig PCIe NVMe M.2 drive, so should be fairly responsive for a significant amount of time. And as with all laptops today, you don't get an optical drive, i.e. a DVD writer, so if you wanted to use something like that, then you can buy a USB one and attach that without any problems at all. Okay, so let's get this installed and then we'll have a look at the boot times. Okay, so while the Windows updates are running, let's talk about use cases for this device. So this will be ideal in a home office. If you are doing lots of video production, music production, or CAD work, then this isn't the laptop for you. So this is a basic home laptop, i3 processor, 8 gig of memory, 256 gig NVMe drive with shared graphics. So it will run basic games, but don't expect it to run Grand Theft Auto 5. Don't expect it to run Fortnite particularly well. You'll get a low frame rate if you're trying to run those sort of games on it. This is not a gaming laptop. This is a home use laptop. It's ideal for home working, it's ideal for homeschooling, it's ideal for your basic day-to-day tasks of internet, office work, photo editing should be fine, but video editing, it will do it quite happily. But you know, when you come to export and you are encoding your video files, then obviously without a dedicated graphics, it's going to be using the processor, and the processor is an i3. So just like to make you aware of that. While we're here, let's have a look at the side connectivity again. We'll just turn the laptop round. As you can see here, here is the hard disk light that is blinking away. So once you can see the activity there. In terms of the fan speed, so the fan speed has ramped up a little bit because we're running Windows updates. So this is an intensive process that is going to be utilizing a lot of CPU. If you want to check on utilization, we can come into our task manager and we can check to see how things are performing, how things are looking. So we go to more details, we go to performance. As you can see here, CPU is sitting at 100% at the moment, which is why that fan speed has ramped up a little bit. So we can go to our performance. We can see that our clock speed is sitting at 3.37 gigahertz. So this had a turbo memory boost of up to 3.4. In idle mode it will sit and run at 1.2 gigahertz. So you can see there that actually the system is boosting the CPU to ramp up the clock speed for us to be able to install all of the stuff that it's downloading. You can see here as well the disk and Wi-Fi utilization. So let's zoom in on that so you can see where the CPU is running at 100%. But we would expect that in this case while it's doing its Windows updates, which is why the fan has actually ramped up a little bit. You can also see your Wi-Fi performance there. So this is Wi-Fi 5, so it has AC as well as Wi-Fi N, so that is not Wi-Fi 6, which is AX. This is AC, so it's Wi-Fi 5, but you will get significant throughput if your router supports it and your system supports it. So while that is continuing to load the updates, we will leave that running and we will wait until these have completed, and then we'll give it another reboot and do another time check on boot. Okay, so all the Windows updates are now completed. Everything's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is to test the boot up time now. Now we're fully updated. We've done a reboot and we've done a shutdown. So we should be good to go to test the boot up time. So from now until we get into the desktop. Okay, so that was 16 seconds from power on through to the desktop. Obviously you've still got some applications loading in the background. So if we have a look down here, we've got our applications that are loading, but we've got a fully usable system inside the 20-second mark, which is perfect. Okay, so what we want to do now is let's have a little zoom in and we're going to have a look at the webcam. So to test the webcam quality, there's not a huge amount that we can do, but we can certainly launch the camera app. And this should give us, so we say yes to that. There we go. So you can see the quality of the video camera there. Obviously with a webcam built in, you want to make sure that you are using your area with plenty of light, because obviously without the light you are going to get a lot of grain on your image. But we can switch on HDR mode to automatic, so that will use HDR mode whenever possible. And you can go to your video settings here and we can check to see the quality of the webcam. So 0.9 megapixels, so 720p webcam, which is absolutely standard on all of these devices nowadays. So that's all there is to it. So let's close that down. If you found that video useful, don't forget to give it a classic thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you want to leave us some comments, then do so in the description below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, then that's available for you to do so as well. And just like to say thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.